So the Mandalorian premiered tonight, and I gotta tell you, I am 100% satisfied and happy with what Disney did with the Mandalorian. The last time I was, completely stoked about Star Wars within the last few years really was Rogue One. Rogue One was the last time I walked out of a movie theater and was completely happy with what I saw. I mean, I know in past videos I said I liked The Force Awakens, but keep in mind, I walked out of there with, I was happy, but I had some major issues with it as well. Okay, but Rogue One pretty much was the last time I was really truly happy with Star Wars. And this was just so, refreshing to see Star Wars the way it's supposed to be. The Mandalorian, and again, this is just my personal take on it. Take it with a grain of salt, or however the hell you want to take it. But in my opinion, this is how Star Wars is supposed to be. Okay, it was kind of dark and a little gritty, but not too dark. Okay, personally, I think I could have let my 8-year-old sit on the couch with me and watch this. Okay, I don't think it was, it wasn't so dark that kids wouldn't have been able to watch it. Okay, I was really surprised though. I've seen a few videos where people did reviews or did their own reviews on it, and there's some people who wrote down that they didn't like it, and I'm listening to their reasons, and it sounds like they have hit their breaking point with Star Wars. They're so, it's just been one dismal disappointment after another, and they've hit their point where they no longer care. And it's kind of sad to see that happen to a lot of Star Wars fans, because so many of us have, this is something we were introduced to when we were kids, and now, we're in our 20s, 30s, or 40s, like myself. And let's face it, the past few Star Wars TV shows, like Star Wars Resistance, in my opinion, is a complete it's crap. I like Star Wars Rebels. I like the Clone Wars. But then, of course, we've got the sequel movie trilogy. And, Force Awakens was okay. But then, of course, I'm not going to rehash The Last Jedi. And then this upcoming shit show that we've got coming with The Rise of Skywalker next month. And I think a lot of people are at that point where they've been hit with so many disappointments. The franchise has just been flushed down the drain. They're at that point where they just don't care anymore. And to me, that's really sad, because in my opinion, I think they're going to miss out. And there were other people who, I saw their comments, and they wrote down that they didn't want to pay for Disney Plus because they didn't want to give Disney their money. And to an extent, I can understand that. I've always said, you don't speak with your words, you speak with your wallet. If you want to get someone's attention, then when you stop giving them your money, then then they'll start listening to you. But again, to those people, I'm telling you right now, you're missing out. If as long as the rest of the series is like this first episode, you are missing out. Okay, this was just great. I mean, from the very beginning to the end, it wasn't too slow, but it wasn't like nothing but action the entire. I think this episode is like about 40 minutes, so it's not like 40 minutes of nonstop action, but it was a very good progression. Okay, the character, the Mandalorian, you don't know, it's like when he talks, everyone's listening. That's kind of the vibe I get from him. Where, and again, like at the beginning of the movie, it feels like the Wild West, where at the beginning of without giving too many spoilers away, he walks into a bar. Mine's pretty much kind of minding his own business. So a group of thugs start shit with him, and he, beats the shit out of him. And then he finds the guy he's actually looking for, because he's there to collect a bounty. So I'm not gonna, give any other spoilers, because that's what's going on at the very beginning of the episode. And I do not want to spoil this for people. This is not going to be a spoiler review, because I really don't want to ruin this for anyone. I want you to be able to enjoy this. And I will say, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they did an amazing job with this. And, I'm sorry, J.J. Abrams, Ryan Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, you guys need to sit down and take notes from these two guys, because these two guys get it. This is how Star Wars is supposed to be, not this whatever the hell this crap this sequel trilogy is, whatever, you know, the Star Wars Resistance and all this other nonsense. This is how Star Wars is supposed to be. And again, I have not been this happy and excited for Star Wars in a long time. Okay, the characters were really good. Here's the other thing about it, you know, a lot of people, a lot of the the social justice warriors and the feminists and all that other nonsense, all those other people, they make a big deal about representation, about how, the reason you guys don't like the new Star Wars is because it's a woman. No, see, that's the thing. We don't care about that. We don't care if the main character or main protagonist is a woman. We don't care. We don't care if she's straight. We don't care if she's a lesbian. What we care about is the story. Okay, is the story solid? Is the character, is it a good character? And The Mandalorian, in my opinion, delivers in both of those areas. It's a real good character. Okay, but he's not. And the one thing I did kind of like about him is throughout, not throughout the series, but there are times where he kind of gets not necessarily gets his butt handed to him, but he can take a punch. Okay, if you get my meaning. Okay, he's not just whipping ass the entire, the entire episode. He's taking his own hits as well, but he can dish it out just as well as he can take it, and I kind of like that. That he's not Boba Fett or Jango Fett or like that. Okay, he is completely different from those two. Okay, so it's a really good character, and I really like what they've done. Okay, and it kind of feels like, I don't know. I mean, because there are, again, I don't want to spoil too much of it. I don't know. You don't really know his background, but I'm assuming that as the series progresses, we'll learn more and more about his background, about who he is as a Mandalorian, and his heritage and all that stuff. Which hopefully they'll do, because I'm really excited to learn about this character. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I'm really just super excited. I've already watched this show about 3 times, because there are a lot of Easter eggs from the different, from the sequel trilogy, the original, and I believe there's some people in there from the prequel trilogy as well. So there's kind of a little bit of everything in there. But if you haven't seen it and you are a Star Wars fan, you're missing out. And I got to be honest with you, did I want to give Disney my money? No. Okay, I'm not too big of a fan of Disney's considering what they've done with Star Wars. But if you want to watch The Mandalorian, I mean, there's the kicker. You gotta. So I decided, go. But I don't feel too bad, because I know I'm not the only person here who put in money to Disney Plus just so they could see Star Wars. Because I'm being honest with you, that's what I did. Disney knew what they were doing. Okay. So again, to all those people who are saying, I'm not watching The Mandalorian because I don't want to give them my money. Well, I'm sorry, you're missing out. This show is really good. I really think, try and give it a chance. And I will go as far to say that this sequel trilogy is a complete loss. I'm sorry. There's no fixing this. I'm not going to get into all the rumors that are going on and everything. This sequel trilogy it's a loss. Okay, this is a complete teardown and rebuild as far as I'm concerned. But with all these other Star Wars trilogies that they're talking about possibly doing here, if these other Star Wars movies are like this, where you're giving the fans what they want, then this show is gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna breathe some life back into Star Wars. I'm really happy with it. I'm really looking forward to the next episode, and all those other people out there, like I said, yeah, Disney's pretty much been handing us, shit on the plate. It's just one of those things like they're, don't spit on my cupcake and tell me it's icing. That's pretty much what they've been doing. Give this a shot. Okay, yes, they've shit on us a lot. Okay, but give this a shot. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they know what the hell they're doing. They know Star Wars, and I'm super excited about this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off right there. So let me know what you think down below, and we'll see you guys next time.